Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Will the Cowboys use their heads to recapture their dominance? Or will the Steelers get off on the right foot? Bledsoe and the Patriots are out to prove last year was no fluke. Parcells brings his winning ways back to New York. Can he do it with the Jets? In year 15, will Marino be calling in all the favors? In year 15, have the wonders of modern medicine made Elway better than ever? Is it a make or break here for Dave Brown? And can Steve Young survive another tough season? Ditka comes back from hibernation. Vermeil resurfaces after a 14-year drought. We'll show you all the hits and kicks. Don't give us the brush off. Get fired up. Week 1 of NFL Primetime. We got band, we got all sorts of new colors, we got a new stadium, but it's NFL Primetime. Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to the lid lifter of NFL Primetime. I'm Chris Berman, along with my compatriot for 11 years, Tom Jackson. 11 years. And we needed some team speed. Let's face it, we were a little slow. Stuart Scott, we welcome to the fastest moving show we have.
Good to be here. It was a 4.5840, but that was a decade ago.
I tell you what, I still think you could beat the rest of us sitting up here. We'll have some fun. We got lots to show you. First off, let's get you caught up on the late games around the NFL. A final from the Great Northwest. Bill Parcells, I think he's instilled a little winning in the New York Jets. 41-3 over the Seattle Seahawks. The most points they've scored since '93 in a game. Took them 4 games to get that much last year. Neil O'Donnell, 5 touchdown passes in this one. Plenty to show you. 41-3. Game still going on, a good one. They had 2 barn burners last year. Jacksonville leads Baltimore 28-27 just with about 2 minutes to go. Dion Figures has just intercepted Vinny Testaverde, so the Jaguars have the ball. Rob Johnson left the game injured, then came back and threw a touchdown pass to Jimmy Smith with under 6 minutes to go to give them the lead. A final from the Big Sombrero. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, new uniforms and all. Jerry Rice hurt, Steve Young hurt, but came back. The Buccaneers win it 13-6 over the 49ers. And this is a final for Mile High Stadium. Marty Schottenheimer, now 2-9 in their lifetime, has the Denver Broncos, a conservative attack, but they beat the Kansas City Chiefs by the count of 19-3, holding them to just over 70 yards in the first half. We begin week 1 of the National Football League, the only time it's ever started in the month of August. The Cardinals at the Bengals, and they're talking playoffs in Cincinnati. Well, why not? They have an outstanding, or certainly an exciting offense. Looks like a new-look defense. They play at Synergy Field, so they got good synergy. But the problem, they talk so much about the playoffs, maybe they forgot about today's foe, because for about 3 quarters, they were raising Arizona. Here we go. Arizona with Kent Graham at quarterback. Talking to his offensive coordinator, Dick Jamieson. First possession, and Kent Graham looks like Otto Graham. Rob Moore for 12 yards, and it's a first down.
Yeah, and Chris, he starts to find those creases in the zone over the middle here to Frank Sanders. Then he comes back again over the middle, working out of the shotgun. You see Rob Moore. And again, look at the zone drop. Look at the crease right there, and a good fire by Graham.
On this drive, Graham 4 for 4. Dick LeBeau's new-look defense having its problems. And then the Cards, 1st and 10 from the 17. Electric Leland McElroy. Look at Larry Self-centers. Get a block. 17 yards to the Cardinals lead 7-0. They're up 14-3. Jameson's offense on the move again. Centers. It's a great receiver. He bangs his way in. It's 21-3. Arizona with a big lead. But in the 4th quarter, Kajana Carter will play a key role this year if the Bengals will go anywhere. It's now a 21-10 game with under 3 minutes to go. 2nd and 8, Jeff Blake to Kajana down the sidelines. Skirts the tackle. Look at him go. 35 yards inside the 15. Up in the stands, Kajana's mom, pleased, but wait a minute. He's down on the play. You know about the knee injury a year ago. Mom worried about it. Need not worry, because 3 plays later, Carter gets the block from Brian Mill, number 44. Touchdown, 21-16. Throwing the ball to Mom. Give it to her. Come on. Vince Tobin's club says, we got the lead. Let's try and seal this thing. With a minute 14 to go, the Cards try to run out the clock. Larry centers, fumbles. John Copeland falls on it. The Bengals have a shot. Minute 5 to go in regulation. They have no timeouts, remember. Jeff Blake against Vince Tobin goes to work in the air. Looks for Darnay Scott. Steps up, fires. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Less than a minute to go. Blake to Carl Slim Pickens. He's out right there, down at the 13-yard line. Consulate says, let's go. Keep the chains moving. 47 seconds left. Play. Pickens. First down. They stop the clock. Centers. Looks on. Oh, no. Oh, no. 38 seconds left. Third down. Touchdown to Pickens. It's a 24-21 lead. The Bengals dancing. 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati, the 3 quarters struggled, but they win it by the count of 24-21 as Blake ends up throwing for 252 yards. And at the time of the question, the Bengals, was it a good sign? Or do they have a long way to go? How do you read today's win for them?
Well, certainly a little lackadaisical early on in the ballgame, but I think that this is the way that the Bengals, at least early on this season, will win football games. It will be Blake throwing to Pickens and Scott and Tony McGee, and still waiting for Kajana Carter. He's improving every single week, getting back to that form a couple of years ago when they drafted him #1 in the draft. Defensively, because you get Dick LeBeau, you don't get that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. It's not as difficult to rush the pass route of that defense as it is to force the run. And I think we saw that early on in the game today, the Bengals having a problem stopping the run.
Well, an entertaining division, that AFC Central, and the Bengals, well, they get a little nervous, but they get the win for Bruce Coslet. They are 1-0. We got plenty to go. Here we have 11 new coaches. 2 of them faced off in the Lions-Falcons game. Bobby Ross's Herman Moore on his side. Could they throw to him? And the Cowboys and the Steelers in the headliner, although only for one team.
I was a little nervous. I've given this presentation I don't know how many times.
Morning, everyone.
Boys and girls, we've got a real treat
But
today.
this audience.
We've got Ellie's father, who's with American Airlines. He's the managing director, automation, electronic enhancements. Mr. Anderson.
The last thing I wanted was to come across as Ellie's dad, the digit head.
Who here has flown in an airplane before? Oh, well, almost everyone.
So first we checked out our website. Everybody got to plan their own trip,
I want to go to London.
just like you could at home.
He wants to go to London.
And our new electronic boarding. And that was a pretty big hit.
Now we're just beginning to put the in-seat monitors into the plane.
And then I brought out the seats. I felt pretty good. They were as excited about all this as we are. And watching them interact with all this stuff really brought it home for me. I mean, back at the office, we're always thinking about the future. Today, I got to see it.
Who am I? I am an emissary from the Rocky Mountains. I am an ambassador of beer to the nation of Thirstyland. I am a messenger representing cold beer refreshment for sections 220 through 229, equipped with a full tray of frost-brewed Coors Light. I am the only man here who can fully satisfy your needs. I am the beer man. But enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Coach, you ready to play today? I-24. I-24. Oh, 73. Oh, 73.
This is it. This is it.
I-16. I-16. Bingo! Bingo! I won! I got bingo!
That's real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
Ready for the next game?
Falcons at the Lions. Old faces in new places. Dan Reeves, well-dressed, now will coach Atlanta. Chris Chandler is QB. Bobby Ross, led to the Chargers, now coaching Detroit. Watch this now. In the first quarter, the legal man downfield as the Falcons try to punt. Let's do it again. Now they try to punt at the Falcons with motion. Oh, Dan's stomach is churning. You know that, Tommy. They try a third time. Well, this time the kicker gets rough. So, we'll try it another time. The fourth time. A charm? Motion on Atlanta. Joe DeCamillis is saying, are you guys kidding me? This is the 5th attempt to get off the same punt. This is what you get when you play football in August. Dan Igor Straczynski finally gets it off, and all that for a fair catch. What? Second quarter, 3-0 Falcons. Look at Dan. Scott Mitchell drops and finds Herman's Moore. Little underthrown, 43 yards, though. It's a touchdown, 7-3 Detroit.
Yeah, and what makes this catch is the height advantage that Herman Moore has over Ronnie Bradford at 5'10", Herman Moore 6'4". You get the grab.
Barry Sanders, not really a factor. Certainly in the first half, Biscuit, Cornelius Bennett brings him down. And in the second quarter, how many tackles does he have annually? Jesse Tuggle again in the middle of the action. 10 carries, 12 yards for Barry Sanders in the first half. More special teams problems coming up. Detroit's punter is John Jett and the Blackhearts. Blocked by Ronnie Bradford. And that's down to the 22-yard line. This time, Joe DiCamillo says, you know, that's what we like. After Lions fumble. Atlanta's first play, Chris Chandler, he fumbles. Stephen Boyd, and Boyd was he a pain for the Atlanta Falcons. 42-yard touchdown, 14-10 Detroit. 6 minutes to go in the game. Atlanta, 2nd and 15. Chandler, hit by Robert Porcher, picked off by that man again, Stephen Boyd. Boyd to men. 2 plays later, 2nd and 10. Lions at the 25. Mitchell had missed 9 straight passes, but his 10th perfect. The Moore, 25-yard, 21-17 Detroit. 4:05 to go. Now the Lions have the lead. Could Atlanta come back? 3rd and 3. It's Reggie Brown, and it's band of renown. He could go all the way. 2 defensive scores for Detroit. Will go on to win it by the count of 28-17. As Chandler throwing for 290 yards, but he was picked off 3 times. They fumbled once. They were sacked 4 times. So, Tommy, a big game for Detroit's defense, but this wasn't exactly textbook football.
Well, uncharacteristic play by teams coached by Bobby Ross and Dan Reeves. They're not going to stand for the fumbles. They're not going to stand for the penalties and the mistakes. And I know that Dan Reeves, for one, will make that clear by the time they get to the quarter point of the season.
I think by the time they get to the airport, he made it clear. When we return on NFL Primetime, NFC East battle, the Giants and Eagles. Dave Brown, is this the year for him under Jim Fossil? And a couple of familiar faces and a new face as the Saints and Rams face off.
Looking good, Northeast Ohio. The program is a go.
It's back. The factory-authorized clearance at your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer, and the savings are bigger than ever. Now you can lease a new Ford F-150 XLT Super Cab for just $249 a month. Loaded with automatic, air, power windows and locks, cruise control, and more. That's just $249 a month to lease the best-selling full-size pickup in Northeast Ohio.
Savings like this only happen once a year.
The factory-authorized clearance. Get there now.
When dealing with snow, nothing beats a Meyer snowplow installed by the experts, Great Lakes Truck Equipment. As the world's largest distributor of Meyer snowplows, you can depend on Great Lakes Truck Equipment for factory-trained technicians, utilizing only genuine Meyer parts, 24-hour-a-day service when it snows, and with pre-approved vehicles, 24-hour installation on new Meyer snowplows. So see the experts in snow and ice control, the name you've trusted for over 20 years, Great Lakes Truck Equipment, and mention this ad for a Meyer jacket free with pre-approved installations.
Well, certainly in this season, the 1997 season, we had 14 different starting quarterbacks, 11 new coaches. We got 1 new stadium, as you can see here. The Bucs and Broncos wearing new uniforms. Yeah, results were mixed. So we brought in our newest member, but we gave you an old-time rivalry, Giants and Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, serious rivalry. This whole series has been shifting. The Eagles have won the last 4. Giants won 4 straight before that, and Eagles won 5 straight before that.
Let me write that all down.
5, 4, you got that? All right, we're taking notes. Hey, who says New York fans are rude, huh? Giant quarterback Dave Brown, last year, giving a group of kids some autographs. One of the kids yelled out, "Hey, Brown, don't worry. Phil Simms stunk his first 2 years, too." Gee, thanks, kid. Truth hurts. Last year, Brown last in touchdown to interception ratio, last in quarterback efficiency. Hoping new coach Jim Fossil can be a panacea. G-Men hosting a Philly team that still has Ricky Waters grumbling about not getting the ball enough, despite leading the league in carries last year. Jim Fossil on his 48th birthday, second quarter, 7-3 Giants. TJ Ty Detmer just all out of whack.
Well, Detmer's struggling early here. He's going to overthrow Ricky Waters on a screen pass, pretty simple pass. Next possession, he comes back. You're going to see Detmer move around a little bit. Marksay comes open, but he doesn't help him out because he doesn't catch the football.
Ty just 9 of 25 passing. Under a minute to go, first half. Dave Brown to the second-round draft pick, the rookie out of Virginia, Tiki Barber. Nice catch. He had 20 carries, 88 yards in the day. 3 plays later, 3rd and 8 from the Eagles' 9. Brown looking for Chris Callaway. Howdy, 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 hey.
Howdy, howdy, ho.
Callaway Elway's 16th career touchdown catch. Brown 13 of 27, a buck 93. Fausto was pumped. 14-3 Giants at the break. Third quarter, Thomas Lewis having flashbacks of that 91-yard kickoff return for touchdowns against the Redskins in 95. Will he go? Walked down by Brian Dawkins. Still, the 85-yard return set up a Barber 2-yard touchdown. 21-3 Giants. Detmer, though, TJ, what is up?
The problems would continue. This time, compliments of Michael Strahan, who lays the lick on him right there and then. For obvious reasons, Rodney Peete would begin to stretch.
Work those arms. Giants had 9 sacks. Third quarter, Pete in the game, hooking up with the former Charger. Nice grab by Mark Say. TJ, style points in that one, huh?
Well, this is what you want. This is a 10. Receiver extends, stops the ball with his left hand, pulls it in with the right. It's a great grab.
38-yard catch. 3 plays later, first and goal. Ricky Waters, straight butter, smooth. Ricky, 18 carries, 81 yards in the touchdown. 24-10 Giants. Fourth quarter, Eagles driving down 24-10. Oh, Tommy Fryer got rocked by Jesse Armstead.
Yeah, but Armstead is sitting inside, waiting on the play, goes right down the line of scrimmage, and Fryer takes that lick. He did get up.
His head was not in the helmet. 2 plays later, Pete representing the Kevin Turner. Nice grab. 15 yards for the touchdown. Rodney, 17 of 23, 268. TJ.
Turner, a great job there of fighting off the linebacker, pulling the ball in, and then making sure he's inbound.
Eagles within 7, but Pete picked off by the rookie Sam Garnes, the 5th-round draft pick out of Cincinnati. I'm feeling you, Sam. I am feeling you. He had 7 picks in college, none for touchdowns, 95 yards here, the 4th longest in Giants history. Rodney Peete needed a hug, and in the tradition of Bill Parcells, Jim Faso gets his first Gatorade dousing. Giants winning 31-17. In one game, the Giants get almost 1/3 the number of sacks as they had all last season. 9 today, 30 last year. Nice way to celebrate Faso's 48th birthday. Dave Brown, he had a 62-yard pass to Charles Way in this game and set up Brown's own touchdown run, the longest passing play of his career, and 25 yards longer than the longest Giant completion all of last year. TJ, Dave Brown last year, 12 touchdown passes, 20 interceptions. Today, just 1 touchdown, Zippo picks.
Yeah, it begins with the head coach. When you talk about Jim Fassel, even when he was with the Broncos, 2 things that he's known for: game planning, calling that good game, off that game plan, and then his work with quarterbacks. And I think we began to see the results of that today. You saw a Dave Brown that was more comfortable in the pocket and more comfortable with the game plan. He didn't make the mistakes that he used to make last year.
Now, Ray Rhodes has been vocal himself. He's concerned about the way, not only today, but the way the Eagles looked in preseason. So keep our eye on maybe a little change a little bit in that NFC East. Gatorade for you later. All right. Well, 2 coaches that certainly have made their stamp through the years: Dick Vermeil and Mike Ditka. Each have taken teams to the Super Bowl. Ditka, of course, won his. Ditka already in the Hall of Fame. With Ditka having coached the game in the NFL for 5 years and Vermeil not for 15 years, and me having spoken for about 3 months, you got to feel that both of them were due. In St. Louis, it was time to go back to the future. Please get my face off the screen so I can get my voice. Dick Vermeil, yes, he's back. Mike Ditka, ready to do battle. First quarter, second play of the game. Yeah, sure, typical Mike Ditka offense, right, Tom? A flea flicker, Heath Schuler. Dondre Battle of Hastings, 39 yards, hits up a field goal. Then later on, second quarter, it's 6-0 Saints. Lawrence Phillips, look at this. Boom, boom. Not often are 1-yard runs exciting. This was exciting. Rams 7 and the Saints 6. And Phillips and Vermeil get a hug. They would do this more later. Second quarter, the Rams lead at 14-6. Here's the kickoff. Eric Gulliford. I think we're going to reverse it. They haven't seen this play in what, Tom? 15 years?
15 years.
No, but it's not a reverse. He goes upfield, splits the defenders. Kurt, go all the way. 102 yards. They make a 2-point conversion. We're tied at 14.
Well, you fake the reverse, you cause people to lose their lanes. Top of the screen, Marquez Walker. Bottom of the screen, Billy Jenkins Jr. You see them lose their lanes, creating a lane for Gulliford, and he's off to the races.
One thing about the St. Louis Rams, they have some big players on offense. You may not know about tight end Ernie Conwell. You're about to know. Look at this. Right here. And then, boom, Mickey Washington, he drags him like a broom. Get out of here! Ernie Conwell, 48-yard touchdown from Tony Banks. 21-17 the Rams, mid-third quarter. Phillips starts left, cuts upfield. He can move, too. 25 yards, touchdown, 28-17. 26 carries, 125 yards for Phillips, and 3 touchdowns. Still third quarter. Saints in a little trouble. Heath Schuler. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Oh, no. Keith Lyle picks it off. second interception against Schuler. He later would be benched in favor of Danny Werfel. And, oh, hello.
DeMarco Farr and Schuler exchanging some pleasantries.
Hey, Dick Vermeil, one thing you know, he's close to his players, he's emotional. Forget this age differential. That's so much bunk. The Rams beat the Saints by the count of 38-24. A sellout crowd of over 64,000. I think the Rams are a team that's going to surprise all year long.
Yeah,
Tom.
talk to the Rams staff. Very high on Lawrence Phillips. All the negative perceptions from last year disappeared when this staff came in.
He looks slimmer, so he's powerful. Instead of looking like a Sam Cunningham, who was a good, strong, but big runner, he looks a little more Chuck Foreman type, although maybe not quite as tall.
And doesn't need much of a crease to go.
Well, he looked good today. 3 touchdowns as the Rams win. When we return, Bruce Smith has a new contract and a couple of sacks. Would it be enough for the Bills over the Vikings? Air McNair, overtime in the career opener in Memphis.
Away from the pack with the hardest checking, smoothest skating, most realistic game on ice. NHL Breakaway 98 from Acclaim Sports for PlayStation and Windows 95. Sweat the details.
Tomorrow, an interleague Labor Day doubleheader on ESPN. First up, the Tribe are looking to impose their own brand of justice on the Bucks. They'll start the party at 1. Then at 4, Raph and the O's are going fishing, and Moises Alou and the Marlins are big game fish with plenty of fight. Indians Pirates at 1, Orioles Marlins at 4. The Labor Day doubleheader tomorrow on ESPN.
Following NFL Primetime, Chipper Jones and the Atlanta Braves. They once played in Boston. They're in Boston tonight to play the Red Sox. That's at the top of the hour. Barn burner, but it's over in Baltimore as Jacksonville has held on to defeat the Baltimore Ravens 28-27. We'll have highlights of that game a little bit later on, but the Jaguars winning again against the Ravens in exciting fashion. 2 playoff teams of a year ago, wild card teams, the Minnesota Vikings and Buffalo Bills, met at Rich Stadium, and the Vikings changed at the helm last year when Brad Johnson led them quite well, thank you, at quarterback. Buffalo, though, now is experiencing life without Jim Kelly. Todd Collins gets the start in Game 1, and off of at least one game's experience, they could say that life without Jimbo is not exactly a wonderful, wonderful life. For 11 straight years, number 12 started for the Buffalo Bills, every season opener. Last time was somebody else was Vince Ferragamo, 1985. By the way, that was the last time it wasn't a sellout on opening day until today when Collins started. But Collins won some games for him last year. Randall Cunningham, back after a year off. He wasn't playing quarterback today. He was punting. Mitch Berger was hurt, and Randall's always been a good punter. Look at this directional punting down at the 5-yard line, and Randall did a good job. Vikings lead 3-0 second quarter. Todd Collins. The Jay Reamersma. 19th, his first catch ever, and all he does?
Catch touchdown.
One catch, one touchdown. Now, speaking of all they do is catch touchdowns.
Chris Carter. All he does is catch touchdown.
From Brad Johnson, touchdown 10-7 Minnesota. Third quarter, Bruce Smith. 6-year, $28+ million. $6 million signing bonus and a couple of sacks to Brad Johnson. Still in the third quarter, Robert Smith. Knee injury last year, entered the season. What knee injury? Kurt Schultz? He tackles nothing. It's a 25-yard gain. Sets up a field goal, 13-7 Vikes. Smith. What knee injury? Look at him burst. Look at the strides, and the doctor is gone. 78 yards, touchdown, and he had help up front.
Yeah, all began with good line blocking. Bruce Smith, who had an outstanding day, gets pinned inside here by Todd Stussy. That cleared a gigantic lane for Smith to get downfield.
Smith, 169 yards overall. In the second half alone, $114. 2.5 minutes later, the game essentially ends. Collins, it's Jeff Berman. It's a man named Brady. Jeff Brady, 30 yards, touchdown, 27-10. The Vikes lead it. They go on to win it, but there's Eric Lunston, one of our old APs on the show and famous Viking fan in the stands. And the Vikings beat the Bills by the count of 34-13. Some big plays on both sides of the ball, which the Vikings certainly early on every year under Dennis Green have always had. And Todd Collins has got to learn a little bit, doesn't he?
Well, this team is going to miss Jim Kelly, not only in the form of a quarterback and what he could do in terms of throwing the ball, but they're going to miss his style. Everything about this offense has changed since last year.
Meanwhile, the dawning of a new era. We're sorry for the Houston Oilers fans that no longer have the home games. Not enough of them showed up last year, but Not really a lot of people at... Look at this. This looks like the little sombrero, the Liberty Bowl. We're going to call it what? The Big Fedora. It was Oakland at Tennessee. Steve McNair. Oh, this is Jeff George to Timmy Brown. 27 yards. Touchdown in the third quarter. This touchdown early in the fourth quarter has the Raiders up 14-13. Now we pick it up. 3rd and 5. Tennessee trailing by a point. Steve Air McNair. His stats weren't great, but at pressure time, he was calm. Ronnie Harmon, always been a good receiver, hits a first down. And then Eddie George.
Well, get used to this reoccurring theme. Eddie George outside for 8 yards. And you see the combination there, the speed, the quickness, the ability to shift his body, then the power up the middle for another 6. And then here, a 4-yard gain. There is nothing here. He backs out of the pack and then drives in for another 4.
So 3rd and 5. Why throw it, Tom? Why not do this? Gets a block. He's powerful. And he's fast. 29 yards, touchdown, and the Tennessee Oilers have the lead. On the drive, 9 carries, 63 yards. The Oilers go for 2. Who would you give it to, Tom?
Eddie George.
Why not? 2 points, it's good. And the Oilers lead 21-14. The Raiders drive down to a 1st and goal, though. First down, George. Wouldn't you look for Tim Brown here?
Yes, since he scored all our points.
Well, Ricky Dudley, incomplete. 2nd down, George to Orlando Truitt. As a throw it to Orlando Cepeda. Incomplete. 3rd down. Joe Bowden. This is a weird play. Remember the holy roller? George, it's a fumble. Looks like George kicks it. It turns out that he didn't. But an offensive team cannot advance the fumble, so no matter what the call was, it was going to be 4th down. And then, now who would you go to?
I go to Timmy Brown.
Yeah, why not? What took you so long? Touchdown Raiders. George to Brown. Look at Brown. Get the feet down.
Well, great job of getting his feet down just before he goes airborne here. He's hit in the back, but great concentration on the football. Great job of tucking it away.
Joe Bugle says, let's go to overtime. But in overtime, look at how smooth. He puts the ball on his hip. Steve McNair knew what he was doing, and Frank Wycheck is wide open. Later in overtime, watch this. And you know he's big, you know he's fat, but he's powerful, Tommy. Watch this play right here. Boom. Spinner as a quarterback down to the 21-yard line. That sets up Al Del Greco. Good! The Tennessee Oilers have never lost a game. They beat the Oakland Raiders by the count of 24-21. True, only 30,000 showed up at the Liberty Bowl. But, folks, you have an exciting team. And a guy named Eddie George had 35 carries for 216 yards. And McNair looked so comfortable at crunch time, Tommy.
You know, I think when he came out a couple of years ago, we all knew that he had great athletic skills. And I'm not only talking about running the ball, but the ability to throw the ball as well. Today, we saw him at his best, and that is when Eddie George contributes yardage from the backfield. So you create some down and distance situations where he can be very comfortable with keeping the defense off balance. I'm talking about McNair.
Well, McNair and George, yeah, a party at the Big Fedora. Is that it? They played one game there. It's the Big Fedora. We go inside the numbers. How good was Eddie George? Well, we told you 35 carries for 216 yards, many of them impressive. On opening day, it's the 2nd best performance ever by a running back. The history of the National Football League, only O.J. Simpson, who in 1973 had 250 yards for the Bills against the Patriots. That's the only opening day performance better than the one we saw from Eddie George.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. www.visa.com.
When we return, the Patriots try to defend their AFC crown against the Chargers. They have fun at home. Miami trying to bring some defense along with Marino and company to stop the Colts.
Wow, Daffy Duck! You're the greatest.
Thanks. Take a check.
Sure, Daffy. Just need some ID.
Are you serious? How many big cartoon stars come into the store?
Checks are a pain, but your bank has a better way, the Visa check card. And if your ATM card has a Visa logo on it, you've got one. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted.
You're despicable.
Visa check card works just like a check, only better.
What a maroon.
Today, the book we're reviewing is the official NFL handbook from Miller Lite. Colin, let's start with you.
Well, Phil, there's no plot. Character development is conspicuously lacking, and there's nothing remotely poetic about the language. It's 33 pages of facts and numbers.
Interesting. Bob?
How shall I put this?
Okay, Bob, we've been discussing the official NFL handbook for Miller Lite. 18 million copies in print, available in 12 packs and cases of Miller Lite.
If you give the world a chance to, it'll swallow you up. Sometimes it's nothing but alone. So you gotta have a plan. You gotta be a Superman. Do some good for the world. Even though sometimes you'll be bad. And that way, you and the world can reach a mutual agreement. You know what I'm saying?
Thursday night.
Quarterback Damian Craig is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the country, not only because of his ability, because of his desire.
Auburn, Virginia. Thursday night at 8. Only on ESPN.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. The defending AFC champion New England Patriots last year got to the Super Bowls in large part because of the coaching ability of that man, Bill Parcells. He's gone, but now I think with Pete Carroll, they get the best of both worlds. Parcells' ability to teach a club how to win and maybe have a little more fun with Pete Carroll. And certainly Drew Bledsoe is going to have fun with Pete Carroll. 39 yards to Terry Glenn down to the 12-yard line.
Really good coverage.
3rd and goal, the Patriots against the Chargers at the 4-yard line, knocking at the door. The Ben Winter Coates. Touchdown.
Yeah, and you see here as we take another look at this, Ben Coates held up at the line of scrimmage. Rodney Harrison right there does a good job of grabbing on, but look at Coates fight off and give himself a little bit of space to make the catch at the back of the end zone.
The Patriots certainly have the threat of Pro Bowl running back Curtis, my favorite, Martin. So why not fake him sometimes? With the eye. The play fake by Bledsoe. And he hits Terry Glenn. Touchdown. Fans in Foxborough say, hey, man, we remember this from last year. 14-0 very early. Even for Kevin Gilbride. Not a great debut as Chargers coach.
Well, he's starting to sweat right there because Stan Humphries under a lot of pressure. Here you see him go back. Todd Collins with the hit coming in head high. There was no penalty right there. And then Teddy Bruschi, look at him come on the twist. That's a linebacker coming from inside, going a little bit outside, exchanging one spot and coming free to the quarterback.
Humphries cut his mouth on that one. First half, Chargers 47 yards, New England 323. Henry Thomas, a new addition to the Patriot defense. It's a fumble. And they recover the fumble to the Patriots. So, 2nd and goal from the 9. Curtis Martin, nothing right. Let's go left. Look at Drew Bledsoe out there to make the block on Ray Lee Johnson, Tom. And then 3rd and goal. Remember that Coach-Harrison battle?
Yeah, we're going to see that battle again. Here Harrison comes in, makes good contact, does a great job of grabbing on. I don't like to see backers or safeties ever get called for that. You can see Coach looking for the call, though.
Well, Pete says, all right, we wanted the call. We get a field goal 17-0. 3rd and 1, now still 2nd quarter. The play fake to Martin. This time it's Sean Jefferson moving on up for a 37-yard reception. That sets up a Bledsoe to Sam Gash touchdown. And then Pete Carroll trying to fire up Teddy Bruschi. Rather than fire down a couple of Brewskis. 31-0 at half. Humphries to Freddie Jones. The 2nd-round pick was the top Charger draft pick, and he has big-time potential at tight end. It's a nice catch. His first reception, so all he does is catch touchdown. 31-7, though. 4th quarter, Humphries stripped by Mark Wheeler, and while he tries to scramble for the ball, the left shoulder down. He left the game, dislocated left shoulder. Not sure how long that'll mean, but he's out. And the Chargers, for the 2nd time in 2 seasons, get blasted by the Patriots. 45-7 last year, 41-7 this year. Humphries will be evaluated later. He's on the team flight now, but dislocated left shoulder doesn't look good as Jim Everett finished up the game. And New England had everything cracking as Bledsoe had 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, and in his own way, Parcells still motivating the Patriots, even from New York. They want to prove that they can win, Chris, without Bill on the sideline.
Well, they have a good chance to do that, judging on week 1. Colts and the Dolphins. Dan Marino, 200th career game as Marino starts his 15th season. Tough day for Kerry Blanchard, who was a Pro Bowl kicker. He was great last year until they got to the Pro Bowl. He couldn't make anything. 42-yard field goal, no good from the infield. 2nd quarter, from 45 yards, Lindy is not doing the Lindy because Blanchard missed again. To be fair, he missed a 58-yarder later in the half, but he was 0 for 3 in the first half, so his troubles began in 97. Dolphins next series, 2nd and 10. Marino back to pass. Uh-oh, they left a wine glass for Elijah Alexander. 43 yards. Marino should have passed it over him. Touchdown, 7-3, the Colts. 1st and 10 at the 20. Still in the second quarter, though. Marino and the Dolphins knocking again from the infield, where Renteria plays shortstop, I guess. He finds Fred Barnett on the slant. 11 yards, 1st and goal. Next play, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar looking for the sky hook, and he does it right there. Touchdown from 9 yards out. Miami on the board.
Yeah, and to be a successful running team, you have to have crackback blocks like O.J. McDuffie right there on Elijah Alexander, and then Stanley Pritchett with the great block on Robert Blackman to escort Jabbar into the end zone.
10-7, the Dolphins lead. Jim Harbaugh back to pass. Overthrows Lamont Warren. Sean Wooden with the interception. Eventually falls on the ball. Second-year man was 6th-round pick a year ago. Dolphins get a field goal, 16-7. Then Tom Harbaugh.
Well, the misread right there is the corner took the inside position and took the quick slant away. Harbaugh still delivered the ball, one that he wishes he had back.
Well, remember the name Sean Wooden, because again, he goes up for what looks like a jump ball and makes the interception intended for Dilger. And Lindy decides to pull Harbaugh. It was not his day, and he goes with Paul Justin. 3rd and 7, 1:47 to go. Justin to Sean Dawkins. Makes a nice play, helps set up a field goal, and the Colts are within 6, 16-10. Now, do you think they're going to kick the ball to the right here, Tom?
Possibly.
But they don't get it. No, wait a minute. It's a fumble. The Colts do get it. The Colts are always so dangerous at the end of the game. 45 seconds left, down by 6. Justin to Brian the Snake Stabline for 15 yards. 16 seconds, no timeouts. Justin to Aaron Beetle Bailey. But he's down in the middle of the field. Tick, 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 tick. This happened last year. They try to get a playoff. The gun goes off. They never get that chance. Jimmy Johnson and the Dolphins escape with the Colts knocking at the door. Miami wins it by the count of 16-10. Mare, their rookie field goal kicker, not only punted but had 3 field goals. And on a day when Dan Marino only threw for 105 yards, it was the Dolphins that won, and you saw a change in their approach a little bit, Tommy.
Well, and they didn't get 100 yards rushing, but you saw the commitment to the run from Jimmy Johnson. You see guys blocking downfield, people other than the offensive line, and I think he's changing the attitude of that Miami offense.
So the Dolphins win in the Florida Heat. When we return on Week 1 of NFL Primetime, Steelers Cowboys, the debut for Cordell Stewart, not one he'd like to remember. And the big game in the AFC, the Broncos and the Chiefs. Tommy's uniform.
So I got off the elevator and said, what is this, the 7th inning stretch? American Express.
Lovely.
Let's do the whole country. I'm a little light on the lingo.
Get a full gander down the front with me.
All right.
They've got coach pasties, banging the mash, pumpkin sweet, and lovely totally out.
That was a wicked googly. So I took the butchers up the apples and pears and said, what is this, the tea interval? All over the world, you can do more with the American Express card. Hold on!
On September 26th, most people lost in the wilds die of shame because they didn't do the one thing which would have saved their lives. Thinking. Nature will push you to extremes. What are we going to do, Charles? What, am I supposed to have a plan? But only man. You and my wife? I've seen you with her. Can push you. So, how are you planning to kill me? To the edge. Why would I want to kill you, Charles? I need you to get home.
He's stalking us!
He's toying with us.
Money's folks get you in an emergency. And you bloom.
Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins. You want to die out here, huh? Alec Baldwin.
You make me sick.
I'm sure I do. Somewhere between the law of the wild and the nature of man lies the edge.
I'm not going to die. I'm going to kill the mother.
Rated R. September 26th, only in theaters.
Nomar, Mr. Nice Guy, Garcia Parra, hitting streak over 30. Tries to start another one tonight as the Red Sox host the Atlanta Braves on their Sunday night baseball game of the week at the top of the hour. It doesn't get much more exciting in the NFL when you see Cowboys at Steelers. Super Bowls 10, 13, and 30 certainly come to mind, and these days teams think that they can get to the Super Bowl, and why not? Pittsburgh excited, undefeated in the preseason. Cordell Stewart looked great at quarterback. And Barry Switzer and the Dallas Cowboys try to untarnish an image, and that began today. And if we were to judge on game 1, I would say that the star is sufficiently polished. And here we go from Three Rivers Stadium. Barry Switzer's first game ever as head coach for the Cowboys was a win at Pittsburgh. Cordell Stewart, his first start, not a great one. Antonio Anderson sacks him. Next drive on 3rd and 7, he looked for Will Blackwell. And Cordell just didn't look comfortable, Tom.
Yeah, a ball overthrown there, and he just looked like he didn't have that touch that he had during the course of the preseason.
Did you say touch? I think Troy Aikman had some touch. Anthony Miller beats number 29, Randy Fuller. They're expecting big things out of Miller. 3 plays later, Aikman, Miller, 12 yards, touchdown, 7-0. How about them Cowboys? Steelers' next possession. Stewart looking for Charles Johnson. Deion Sanders, oh, very dangerous. Almost intercepted, but Switzer looked on, and look at the neck.
Well, Deion, a great job of playing the ball, and then you see Kevin Smith go up under him with the receiver. He falls down. It takes a great athlete just to come out of that and not be injured.
Well, bad neck, so you rub the lower back. All right. How about Greg Lloyd's return? Well, many people have been deked by Emmett.
Well, Greg Lloyd here falling back on coverage. Didn't get a chance to really make a play on Emmett because he didn't commit soon enough. Then the tight end, LaFleur, there, blocked him inside. He kicked LaFleur. No penalties.
Aikman in the second quarter. Look at Michael Irvin. This is a rainbow. It's 42 yards and a touchdown. We said it early on NFL Countdown. I expect a huge, huge year for Michael Irvin. Aikman to Irvin. Between Chad Scott and Carnell, like, oh, this is why they should get rid of AstroTurf. The skin is on the field. But Michael tough. 4 catches for $115 in the first half alone. Third quarter, down 17-0. Cordell Stewart tries to rally the Steelers. But Dexter Coakley reminds some, the rookie linebacker, of a young Thomas Jackson. 13-28 for 104 for Cordell. He'll have better days. Cowboys take advantage. Boy, were they ready to play this when they were prepared. And Aikman and Urban were sharp. Chad Scott had the coverage, but a tough catch. 24-0 touchdown. Steelers' next possession. Jerome Bettis does everything well except one thing. He fumbles a little too much. Brock Marion falls on it. Leads to a field goal, 27-0 Cowboys. As for Deion Sanders, prime time. Only the punter, Josh Miller, trips him up. Greg Lloyd, Deion has a little fun. He goes back to his day job, baseball, during the middle of the week. Greg Lloyd says, I came back for this. What an impressive performance for the Cowboys. Barry Switzer's club, obviously armed and loaded to make another run at the Super Bowl, Tommy. And the Cowboys won it really on both sides of the ball. It was one of the most impressive performances we've seen from them in a long time. And Aikman and Irvin looked very, very sharp.
Yeah, and I thought the scariest part of all of this is that very effective, efficient running game that we're used to seeing led by Emmitt Smith and that big, huge offensive line just really wasn't there. This was keyed by the passing game, and you saw what can happen when Anthony Miller starts to get deep early on in the football game. Then it opens up things because Michael Irvin will receive single coverage, and the numbers that he could put up this year, as you stated, could be scary.
I think he is the least bit of a question mark on this team. Whereas last year, everything going on, he was a huge question mark. As for Troy Aikman, as we go inside the numbers, Tommy, late last year with him losing all of his weapons and everything going on, the last 9 games, including the playoff exit against Carolina, 3 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions for Troy, and that's just un-Aikman-like. Well, August 31st, 1997, 4 TDs, no interceptions. When we return on NFL Primetime, Jets, Jets. Oh, my goodness, were they firing in the Pacific Northwest. Jags and Ravens in a barn burner that went down to the final play. The big game in the AFC. The Chiefs and Broncos renew hostilities in the AFC West. And Steve Young and the 49ers knew they would have their hands full at the big sombrero. They were hoping that they didn't have them pull this much.
You loved them all your life. Now biography lets you really know them. He wanted to become a preacher, but ended up Mayberry Sheriff. What's this MASH bad boy really like? Learn how Milty got his joke, how Bilko became Top Banana, and what does Carol's Wiggle really mean? The people you thought you knew on Classic TV Week on Biography. All this week at 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific on A&E.
And the Mullinax Ford 97 sell-off. We priced our entire inventory to sell 5,500 cars and trucks in 55 days. Mullinax is America's #1 Ford retailer. #1 in 1992, 93, 94, 95, 96, and again in 97. Mullinax sold more new Fords than any anyone in the USA. Now, Mullinax has 5 convenient locations to serve you with one magic sell-off price on every window. Mullinax Ford Amherst, Mullinax Ford Wickliffe, Mullinax Ford North Canton, Mullinax Lincoln Mercury Brunswick, and Mullinax Lincoln Mercury Jeep in Mayfield.
Coach, cable boy. I'm in charge of these tools, like any good mechanic. I love cable! Here in my left hand is a low-ohm, high-res multi-connector. Woo! 450 watts of pure cable power. Goal line situations? Always double-check your input-outputs. Headset, coach's head, which is missing right now, and the cable. That's what it's all about.
College football on ESPN 2. Welcome back to Primetime. Jets Seahawks. Parcells went 4-0 in the preseason. He's 5-7 in his career in opening day. Jets first possession. Neil O'Donnell going back. Hey, Boomer, I think it had the wrong title of the book. What should it have been?
Just throw him the damn ball.
Always Crevette the damn ball. Crevette. 35-yard touchdown. He had 150 catches his first 2 years in the league, an NFL record. And let's just give him some props. Keyshawn Johnson. Seahawks next possession. Chris Warren coughs the ball up, stripped by Mo Lewis, recovered by Marcus Coleman. Only Seahawks turnover in the first half, but it led to a field goal. Hey, TJ, where's the love between old teammates, huh?
Well, Chad Brown here, a little unnecessary roughness on Neil O'Donnell. They'd exchange a few words right there.
Jets would take advantage. 2 plays later, Boomer, I think we have a new book.
No, throw him the damn ball.
Throw Jeff Graham the damn ball. 27 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Graham, 3 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the day. Jets scoring all 5 possessions in the first half. They're up 27-3. Meanwhile, TJ Seahawks.
John Freeze right here trying to hit Joey Galloway over the middle. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. Then again trying to hit Joey Galloway. This one going to be tipped by Marvin Jones. And then, you know it, trying to throw, and Mo Lewis is going to get a hand up. Throw the ball a little higher.
This pass incomplete, but John Freeze suffered a broken thumb. Second half, enter the guy with more professional passing yards than anybody, Warren Moon. But before he could enter, Boomer, chapter 2.
Throw him the damn ball.
Throw Crevette the ball, chapter 2. Wayne Crevette, 2 touchdown catches of the day. Jets up 34-3. Meanwhile, Warren Moon didn't fare much better than Freeze. Almost picked off by Warren Glenn. Pepper Johnson, I think Sterling said earlier today, Pepper Johnson is how old?
92.
92-year-old Pepper Johnson all fired up. Jets squeaked by the Seahawks 41-3. Nice way to start his campaign off in New York. Neil O'Donnell, 18 of 25, no interceptions, 270 yards, and a career high 5 touchdown passes. Wayne Crevette, as I said, 3 catches, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeff Graham, 3 catches. This one was all Jets. Jags, Ravens. Much publicized. Mark Brunell injured. Rob Johnson starting in his place. Brunell took every snap last year. Brunell, more rushing yards than any quarterback in the league last year. Johnson getting his Brunell swerve on. 25 yards for the touchdown for the guy from USC. 7-zip Jags. Ravens #1 pick, Peter Boulware. Nice move. Boulware. Booyah! First career sack. He had 19 sacks last year for FSU. He led the nation. Second quarter, Ravens get their offense going. Down 14-7. Vinny Testaverde with a radar lock of Jermaine Lewis. Sweet touch pass, 43 yards. Game tied at 14. Vinny, 13 of 20, 189 in the first half. Scary moment for the Jags. Rob Johnson, pursued by Ray Lewis. Johnson taken down near the sideline. Serious pain. Left ankle sprain. Johnson's backup, Steve Matthews. No career anything. Zeros everywhere. 4th string emergency quarterback is wideout Keenan McCardle, but Johnson stayed in, and he's looking like Brunell again. Brunell more passing yards than any quarterback in the league last year. That one to Jimmy Smith for the touchdown. Johnson 20 of 24 passing. Third quarter, Vinny stays hot. TJ, give me a little bit of Michael. 24-21 Baltimore. Michael Jackson. Where's Robin Roberts when you need him? More problems for Johnson. Completes the pass to Jimmy Smith, but he's going to aggravate his ankle sprain. Johnson will be taken off for x-rays. And it ain't quite Willis Reed, but Johnson comes back into the game. Fourth quarter, Jaguars down 27-21. Johnson to Smith, down the sideline, 28 yards for the touch. Johnson, 294 yards passing, 28-27 Jags. Under a minute left. Jags trying to run out the clock. Natron means drill. Natron means fumble. Ravens still alive. Last chance. 4th and 17. Testaverde looking for Michael Jackson. It looks like an apparent first down, but it is ruled a trap. TJ, take another look. think we have some issues.
Yeah, take another look from the front angle. Looks like Michael does a great job there of getting his hands underneath the ball. Looks like the ref got it wrong.
Ref got it wrong. Jags win the game 28-27. Benny 24-41, 322, 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Rob Johnson, slamming day, 20 of 24, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jimmy Smith had 6 catches, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
On we go to the big sombrero. The Niners and the new-look Buccaneers. Orange is now their 3rd color. Steve Mariucci, head coaching debut for the Niners. And business as usual. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, 13 yards, 176 straight games, in which Rice has at least 1 catch. But 3 plays later, 3rd and 2. Warren Sapp had a huge game. Chases Young out of the pocket. Hardy Nickerson knees Young unintentionally in the head. And watch this. There's another look, Tommy. Just looks scary.
Yeah, outstanding speed by Warren Sapp shown, though, all day. Running down quarterbacks, making hits on Jerry Rice.
Young had to leave, and Mariucci had to go to... They did not plan this at all. And first half of week 1, Jeff Brom from Louisville. 49ers run the reverse for Jerry Rice, and it's Warren Sapp. And Sapp has taken out the whole team. Takes him down by the face mask. But don't watch that. Watch Jerry's left knee. Out for the game on the sidelines in civilian clothes. Warren Sapp. Oh, my goodness. What a hurt he laid on the Niners. Meanwhile, Trent Dilfer to Carl the Truth Williams. 55 yards down to the 20. But 4 plays later, rookie Patrick Hape, very Buck-like, fumbles the football on the 1-yard line. Tony Dungy says, wait, we're trying to get rid of all that. Still 6-0 Niners. Trent Dilfer, 4th quarter, play action, and there's more. The Bucs, who had kicked a field goal earlier, now lead at 10-6. With the game on the line, Steve Young. We've seen him come back before. Jerry Rice could not. Young on the field. Second half. Pressure. Rufus Porter, the former Seahawk Pro Bowler, nails it. 3rd, next down. 3rd and 8. Young. It's Warren Sapp again. Sacks him. Warren Sapp had 2.5 sacks, 11 tackles. The Bucs sacked the 49er quarterback 7 times. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe they'll start to sell tickets now down there. The Buccaneers beat the 49ers by the count of 13-6. The Niners' lowest point total since November of 1991. Chiefs and Broncos, Mile High Stadium. There's the look. Marty Schottenheimer, 2-8 here. I don't like it here. I don't have Neil Smith anymore. He's on the Broncos. What are we going to do? 6-0 Broncos 2nd quarter. John Elway from his 14. Rolls left. Looking for Rod Smith. Wide open. Pete Carroll. Go. Oh, the... Mark McMillan and wife catches him 78 yards. But Elway on the play, here's what you want to look at. Jerome Woods hit him in the ribs, but we've learned that John is bionic, and he stayed in the game here. Then, what happened here, Tommy?
Well, at the end of the first half, he's one of the best clock management guys in the history of this league. You can see the clock ticking right there. John should have gone downfield with the ball. If he had it to do over again, he would, but he spiked it right there on 3rd down. They had to settle for a field goal.
Well, Elam kicked a field goal. Marty Schottenheimer said, whoa, that's all right. We're only down 9-0 at the half. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs in the 3rd quarter. Greg Hill. I dreamt I saw Greg Hill last night. 38 yards before Atwater knocks him out of bounds. Then, 2 plays later, Marcus out. No, it's Elvis Gerback on the bootleg. 10 yards, touchdown. Well, excuse me, down to the 4-yard line. Marcus. No one vaults better than him. He's down at the 1 line. But they didn't get the touchdown. Only a Stoyo field goal, 9-3 Broncos. Elway to Easy Ed McCaffrey, 17-yard gain. Same drive, now 4th quarter with the score 9-3. Terrell Davis starting to churn it up on the ground in the 2nd half. Up the middle for a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play. Offensive holding. No, but how do you like that? Elway called a flag against his own team. The ref said, no, it's not, John. Don't worry about it. It's a touchdown. Marty says, wait a minute. When the quarterback says it's a penalty and there's not, I know this is a house of horrors. Broncos 19 and the Chiefs 3. Davis had 101 yards. Elam had 4 field goals. Elway threw for 246 yards. When we return, game ball. There were many to go around. Many big-time performances. Stuart, Charlie, and I will dole them out. Stay with us.
Be right back after these messages.
You
You've heard of Nike Air. Now there's Zoom Air, the thinnest, most responsive Nike Air cushioning ever, which means you run faster, just as Jerry Rice and Barry Sanders.
Zoom Air helps me to accelerate. Zoom Air helps me make sharper cuts.
So trying Nike football shoes with Zoom Air, who knows, maybe you can keep up with these guys.
Row double Z, where the real fans sit. My people, everything's better up here. The air's cleaner, beer is colder. It's like being up in the Rockies where Coors Light is frost brewed. It's the kind of place where a man needs a beer and a beer needs a man. And beer is the way beer is supposed to be when beer is really beer. These people are like my family. Well, maybe very distant cousins.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today.
It's the first ever game balls doled out in August. But you know what? Michael Irvin gets one. Pair of TDs, 153 yards receiving. A big win for the Dallas Cowboys. Stuart?
My game ball goes to Lawrence Phillips. A fat day, 125 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He only had 4 touchdowns all of last year. Second-year guy getting it done.
I like that, a fat day. Eddie George had a fat day as well, the second fattest day on opening day, rushing the ball in the history of the league, 35 for 216 and a touchdown.
Those are your candidates. Michael Irvin, Eddie George, Lawrence Phillips. You can vote for your game ball on ESPN.com, and you can see the results tonight on the 11 o'clock Eastern Time Sports Center. That's not it. We'll be back.
Mike Ditka for 1-800-COLLECT.
Hey, come on, ladies! Hey, get mad! Make believe I just installed your mama. Or make believe I just traded you. Make believe I just called you collect without using 1-800-COLLECT.
Hey, he could have saved us up to 44% with 1-800-COLLECT.
Stop, guys. I was only kidding. Stop.
1-800-COLLECT. Save up to 44%.
Looking good, Northeast Ohio. The program is a go.
It's back. The factory-authorized clearance at your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer, and the savings are bigger than ever. Now you can lease a new Ford F-150 XLT Super Cab for just $249 a month, loaded with automatic, air, power windows and locks, cruise control, and more. That's just $249 a month to lease the best-selling full-size pickup in Northeast Ohio.
Savings like this only happen once a year.
The factory-authorized clearance. Get there now.
When dealing with snow, nothing beats a Meyer snowplow installed by the experts, Great Lakes Truck Equipment. As the world's largest distributor of Meyer snowplows, you can depend on Great Lakes Truck Equipment for factory-trained technicians, utilizing only genuine Meyer parts, 24-hour-a-day service when it snows, and with pre-approved vehicles, 24-hour installation on new Meyer snowplows. So see the experts in snow and ice control, the name you've trusted for over 20 years, Great Lakes Truck Equipment, and mention this ad for a Meyer jacket free with pre-approved installations.
A reminder, we debut a 90-minute Sunday night Sports Center with Dan Patrick and Kenny Main Man. 90 minutes of Sports Center following our Sunday night game of the week, and then primetime follows that. Of course, a reminder that Prime Monday, Mike and the gang, get you set for the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. As the champs swing at action at Lambeau, we swing at action with Brett Favre all over the map. That's Monday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. Yeah, week one, it's hard to really get an entire feel. Obviously, Dallas and the Jets and the Patriots are the best as anybody. Parcells, post, and future. Anything that jumps out at you, Tommy?
I think with the exception of the Dallas Cowboys, I think we saw a lot of the winners. You still need to be able to establish a running game.
Well, we're off and winging.
Warren Sapp, huge.
Great team speed here. For Stuart Scott and Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching. Sunday night game of the week. Braves, Red Sox at Fenway. Enjoy.
Hey, Chris, now, in our 8th season, it's the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball Game of the Week. Tonight, the Braves' 3-time 20-game winner Tom Glavine comes home to Fenway to take on the Boston Red Sox and Rookie of the Year favorite Nomar Garcia-Parra on the Sunday Night Baseball Game of the Week.
Being a kid, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, and I wanted to play at Fenway Park.
you know, we usually had tickets well in advance, so you kind of mark that day on your calendar. And I remember everybody just kind of loading up in the car and, okay, we're going to go to the Red Sox game tonight. You know, the 75 team that went to the World Series, that's probably right around the time where I really start remembering the Red Sox and remember becoming a baseball fan. Yeah, we kind of used to hang out down here in the right field corner or somewhere around the foul pole here. My most vivid memories are just sitting here watching Dwight Evans a lot of times taking fly balls and making throws and just being in awe of what a great arm the guy had. I fulfilled half my dream. I'm a Major League Baseball player, but haven't had a chance to play at Fenway Park, so it's going to be another dream that I'm going to have an opportunity to fulfill. So there's going to be some anxieties, there's going to be some nervousness. I just hope that once I get out there and the game starts, my instincts will take over and I'll pitch.
From 1942 to 1951.
And now Tom Glavine tonight will realize that childhood dream as he faces the Boston Red Sox at Fenway, and he'll be up against a former teammate and a good friend. Steve Avery, the longtime Atlanta Brave, faces the Braves and Glavine for the first time here tonight. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller. Welcome to Fenway Park in Boston. The summer is almost over. Labor Day tomorrow. And here in Boston, they're excited with the return of the Braves, the former Boston Braves. And the Braves have put the hurt to the Red Sox here 2 straight days. And now Glavine faces this ball club, the best hitting team in the American League, a .298 team average with guys like Valentin and Vaughn, but they have been shut down. Nomar Garcia-Parra also. Yesterday, his 30-game hitting streak came to an end. He's a Rookie of the Year favorite. He talked to Joe Morgan at the batting cage.
Nomar, when I first read about you in the minor leagues, you were known for your defense. All of a sudden now, everybody's talking about your offense. Which gives you the most satisfaction?
You know what? They both do. It's funny because when I'm in the dugout, I'm like, all right, now it's about hitting. It's about offense. I got a job to do there. When that's over and you're out in the field, it's about making a play behind my pitcher, you know, making sure he's feeling good. So, you know, the way it's funny, they say, can you separate the two, but you try to do as best you can. You know, even like if you have a bad at-bat or you mess up a play on the field or whatever, you come in, and you got another job to do.
Yesterday, you know, you had your hitting streak broken, but at least you got your 4 at-bats. I would hate for you to have to go